All right, you are in the zone once again with Cranky Swagman and Snoozy. Today's topic is going to be traffic control around the world, but first we have our disclaimer.
Yes, we do. And I just lost
If
it.
you-
We
if
are
you-
also live, by the way, just to add on our Facebook page. For the
Yeah.
very first time, I'm looking at it as we're recording.
It's okay. I've found it. We have been saved. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are purely those of the individuals voicing them and do not represent the values of the sponsors or the platforms on which this podcast is hosted. Yeah.
Really upset because there's a time lapse between our recording over here and then the Facebook Live.
Yeah, there'll be like a 30-second
There's
difference.
like a 30-second difference, so we could quickly hit stop and rewind, redo it.
Just in case
And-
somebody says the word fuck by accident.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great,
fuck,
now we do
shit.
it.
Sorry.
Oh, shit. Oh, hang on. We gotta bleed that out. Hang on. Oh, Jesus.
Rim shots are not censorship, Swagman.
Oh, really? What about COVID? Can we give COVID to our fans? Let's give some COVID.
I think you're
Well,
definitely
you-
had a whole case of that.
Oh, I saw a little bit of a relic from the past today.
Just, hang on.
One of the old COVID check-in QR codes was still on the table of one of the businesses I went into to drop notices.
Yeah, right. So how did you scan it and see if it
I
worked?
could have. No, I didn't scan it, but I did take a photo of it, ready? Because I was so taken aback by this fucking surprise of a thing that I'd found.
Was it one of our QR codes? Which QR code is this?
Look, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember the name of the business,
Please
but
check before. Yeah, right. Okay. Interesting.
that's what ours in New South Wales looked like. And I'm like, what? Has it been that long since somebody actually checked on this little desk that the QR code's still there?
We have 5 people watching our live, by the way.
Hey!
We're just going to put it out there. We actually do have people watching.
Hey, everybody.
We are live for our very first Facebook Live. It was reading 5 people. It's just gone back down to 3, but maybe that's just us 3 watching our own selves on Facebook.
No, I'm not watching it.
You're not
No.
watching? Okay, then we actually have 3 people watching.
It even shows up at the top left corner
Yeah.
here on the Riverside screen. We got 3. Anyway,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
talk
it
about
does
traffic
too.
control around the world.
Look at that. There's probably our American friends or something watching.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve. Steve, where's
That's-
Alan?
That's
Adam-
actually 2 of
Adam.
our American listeners, by the way, Snoozy.
3-wheel
Oh,
bicycle.
gotcha. I'm so sorry.
3-wheel bicycle. Yeah.
3-wheel.
Yeah. So it'd be really interesting to hear from them about what roadwork sites look like over there, because I'm pretty sure they would have come across at least one in their lives. But like,
Are
you
we
guys
talking UK or are we talking America?
America.
Yeah.
The UK, I think, do things very similar to how we do it, because, Australia, we can't be original with anything we do.
No, we're about 10 years behind America. Usually
We have
America
to-
does it first, then the UK, then the Europeans, then India, then I'm pretty sure it's South Africa, and then you go to Zimbabwe. They've done it, and then I don't know what the smallest little continent on Earth is, but Mars, and then Australia. Like we are the last ones on that board before it's even implemented. I believe the aliens also implement traffic control before Australia ticks up. And then we learn from them. So it's definitely got to be it, because the way we do traffic control compared to the way they've got a fucking truck that picks up the cones and you've just got a bloke standing there going, yeah, she's working.
Yep.
Truck keeps
yep.
going along and picking up the cones. We just got one bloke on the back of the truck going, yeah, she's still working.
But how about those water-filled drums that they use at the top of their tapers?
Yeah, we're meant to use them. I believe in some of the sites that actually get implemented over here, we're
Mhm.
meant to actually use them. But they're never filled. They're
Yeah,
just
I was gonna
empty.
say,
They're like,
and
they're
make sure
there.
they're refilled.
Yeah, like they're there and they're meant to be filled full of water, but there's never any water in them. They just pick them up and you can
And they're
move
like,
them.
and I've asked a few engineers about that, and they're like, oh, it's because when cars hit them, the cars get damaged. And it's like, that's the point. It's supposed to be a fucking deterrent.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Well, look at America's way of doing it, and then South Africa. America have traffic control. South Africa have guns for traffic control. Stop your vehicle. Okay, stop.
No. In South Africa, you pull the gun out and say, you stop the car.
You
That
stop
car
the
ain't
car.
stopping. That car accelerator is on the floor, and that motherfucker's gone.
Yeah. Once the yeah, no one's stopping in South Africa for
But
traffic control.
the way that they do it over there in South Africa is quite interesting because instead of using witches' hats, they will use donkey dicks, like the bollards,
Yeah, right.
and actual people.
Donkey
Thank you
dicks
for
is-
specifying about that
don't-
because that you could have so lost me just then.
You said the word dicks, you completely lost her.
No. Never seen one in my life, but okay.
Yeah, donkey. Oh, I'm just
Haven't
getting
you
to
guys
know
heard them
my-
called that before?
No.
No,
Really?
no,
Donkey
never
dick?
even. Donkey dicks.
I mean,
Wow.
aside from like the little triangle thing on top, that's apparently what they look like. So
Yeah,
You know.
right.
If I search up donkey dicks on my laptop,
it's probably not a good idea, but okay.
Yeah, I think your boyfriend's gonna ask you some questions.
no, I put in good old donkey dicks traffic control so it, specified a little bit more. It literally came up with donkeys.
Have you ever heard the expression "two girls, one cup"? It's a traffic control
Haven't.
cone. It's a traffic control cone.
That's no
So-
cone.
So it's pretty much like if you put a donkey on a road, it's pretty much as effective as a non-water filled water bollard, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, thought so.
that's literally. it.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. So what you'll get is you'll get like a row of bollards, and I mean like a horizontal row of bollards, not like a normal taper or line of cones. So that line of bollards will stick out across the road, and then you'll have a traffic control, and then another one, and then another traffic control, and another line like that. So there are like 5 or 6 of these TCs all just waving flags. They don't have normal stop and go bats either. Stop slow
It's
bats.
so
they have
weird in
flags.
South Africa how they do it, and then you look at the UK's version, and they've got like motorway traffic
Mhm, mhm.
controllers. They're all in vehicles. They're never out
Yeah.
in person. They're just all in vehicles. They've got like what we have over here is highway patrol, but they've got
Yeah.
traffic control police, but they're not police, but they're traffic control, and they can pull over anyone that's interfering with a sign. Or it's so weird. I looked at a few videos like that, and I was like,
See,
how
now,
that works, I don't know, and how we haven't implemented something better, it's beyond me.
where's our power to do that? Why don't we get the ability to write people fines?
Because I think we would be so overwhelmed with just writing tickets, the job just never get done.
But then wouldn't the government be happy that they're getting more revenue then? Can we us doing their job?
Maybe.
Well, they might see it as a good thing, but then they might see it as for the limited traffic controllers that think they're police officers, like the
mhm.
power hungriness side of it. You can just say, right, I'm a traffic control, give me that fucking ticket book. And they're just waiting to stop a
Mm.
vehicle to give them a ticket, you know? Oh, nah, left indicators out. Didn't stop at my stop back within 10 meters. Fucking. There'll be tickets left, right, and centre.
I know I would give quite a few out on a daily
Oh.
basis. I would run out.
Well,
I'd run
yeah.
out quite often.
The thing that highway patrol say over here when we call them to a site is we can't sit here all day because we'd fill our ticket book. So they literally come to site knowing full well they're not going to have a traffic control. Traffic control. They're not going to have their ticket book empty by the time they leave and just be jam packed. They end
We've
up
got to
having
reach
to
those
force themselves to
KPIs.
leave. Yeah, literally.
And this is why they're all digital here in New South Wales.
They're now digital over
There's
here now
no
as well.
book.
Yeah, I think they only go to the book when the internet's down.
Mm.
Well, it's interesting. The other day I was talking to some of the employees for the company I work for, and a lot of them
Yep.
are civilian. And I'm like, well, like, why traffic control? Like, just asking curiosity. Like, everyone chooses traffic control for different reasons, right? And I asked them, I was like, what's traffic control like over in Brazil?
Very keen.
And
Yep.
they were like, oh,
Yeah,
there's no such thing as like traffic control, like specialized companies that do traffic control. Apparently, a lot of them
Yeah.
are police and that just enact like similar how if there's a scene or whatever and police do the road closure and stuff like that is
Mm.
similar to apparently how they do it. Otherwise, they just do civil works on the side of the road or on the road, without having us to, be the front line of safety.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
And where's
okay.
that?
I guess it's Brazil.
Brazil.
Hmm.
How did you come across that in Brazil?
One of a couple of the workers that we have in the company.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So their traffic
Yeah.
control over there is completely different to what
Like
it is over here.
non-existent.
Non-existent.
I mean, well, I can't check this like the accuracy, but that's what I gathered from what they told me. So don't direct quote. But yeah, I found
Quote,
that really
unquote.
interesting, right? Because like we live in a world over here where if you're working on the road, you or close to it or in a high volume people area, you
Yep.
require traffic control as being one of the safety measures when they assess site. Yeah, it's but there's traffic here. It's going to be a high risk workplace. We're going to delegate the job to traffic controllers so that we can minimize the risk on that site. But I'm thinking, like, why should police and even in Australia manage
Yeah.
sites on a road? Like, say for example, if there's a car crash or something, I get because they're able to be there quick. If it's over an extended amount of time and it's a big site, it's hard because you can't take police from doing their main priority role, right? Like, it makes it hard, right? So why is a government agency like such as the police managing traffic control or road work, sites?
I guess it's very similar in a way. There are certain countries that still use the Air Force for air traffic control.
Yeah.
So maybe, like in that way, they're like, okay, these people are already trained to do a fair amount of this task, so let's make them do all of it.
Yeah, I just find it strange, like if shit hits the fan, right? They've got to have those resources available. If they're busy closing off a road, they can't be allocated to different, emergency, right? Like, I don't know how it works in other countries because I've been a bit of an Australian hobbit. So it's like,
It's probably because they're all
it's-
tanning down the beach.
Rangers don't only steal soul swaggy, but they also don't tan. I'd like to let you know that.
Oh, use burn. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's because the sun is holy and Rangers are not.
Yes, pretty accurate there.
Jeez, while I choke on my dinner right here.
That's what you get for all the Ranger jokes you pull on me, Slaps.
There it is. There's your end.
I told you it was
Where's-
coming.
Where's
put
the
up with
Hulk?
it.
Where's the
There's
Hulk?
no Hulk smash moment. It's
Where's
just a Ranger comeback moment.
Is the Hulk home yet?
It's a slow burn.
A slow burn, trust me.
Yep.
Just like her soul. Oh!
Okay, sorry.
I hope someone on the Facebook Live where we're streaming right now has got my back somewhere.
Okay, you say someone. I'm going to emphasize the one right now. Someone.
Yeah,
People.
yeah.
So,
There was 6, and it's dropped down to 1.
hmm
I will say that we do have over 2,000 people that are actively on there, but it is a Friday night and everyone goes out drinking. So I'm surprised there's still one person, and that one person's probably my wife watching.
Yeah, probably. It could be mine watching from the other room, and I'm like, okay, no, there she
So-
goes.
No, yeah, it's just dropped down to 0.
Not her. Yeah.
Shout out to our number 1 fan. So we're going to give out $17,000 right now to anybody that is watching.
That is coming out of your
Well,
pocket.
But you must
Yeah.
comment with the word hello in the next 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2,
Two,
1.
one.
Oh, that's a shame. Someone just missed out.
I didn't
They
hear
could
the
have won.
out.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
No.
something that actually made me think of this particular topic for tonight was a little while ago. Somebody posted up on one of the traffic control Facebook pages from the Philippines, right? And it was just a selfie. Apparently, their TCs dress very similarly to cops.
Yeah, right.
Like
that
no
I
high
just-
vis at all.
Okay,
Like no high vis at all.
no high vis at all. I'm actually looking at pictures of it now. I googled it, and yeah, this is what their traffic controllers dress like.
What?
What?
So for those that can't see, obviously, we're looking at a directly blue shirt, blue pants, and what looks to be a police badge on their chest,
And
Yeah,
a police bike helmet for some reason.
and a police bike helmet, which makes no sense whatsoever.
But, whatever commands respect on the job site. And I think that looks pretty cool.
You know
Well,
what commands
in a
respect on a
donkey-
job site? Donkey dicks.
And Snoozy's logging off.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gone now. It's over my head.
I just find that so funny, right? Like,
Surprised you never heard
Wait.
that terminology before.
no,
You hadn't heard it before either.
yeah. So don't be
I did 20
hypocritical.
minutes after you mentioned it because I googled it.
All that came up with mine was very X-rated donkey photos that I've never thought I'd ever seen in my life.
Look, we don't need to hear about what you were recording like the night before. Oh, look
Oh,
at that.
Search history for the win.
Yes.
yeah, the one is that I'm gonna.
Yes. Yes, I
It's
know.
going to be, you know what? It's going to be like several years from today. You're going to be Googling something else to do with donkey, or at least the words, some word that starts with DON, and it's going to come up with the little clock picture and the phrase donkey dicks, and you're going to be like, why the fuck was I Googling that?
What? I shit you not. Wait, I can't even send it around.
Now
Anyway,
we're
it's
gonna
right there. Donkey Dick's traffic control, and then Donald Trump and Donkey.
Donald Trump. Yes, speaking of that, did anyone watch that election or the debate?
He could
That-
hardly talk. I'm sorry, Joe.
They turned around, they're like, oh yeah, he was jet lagged, he was sick. And I think he just forgot where he was, and he just started to mumble towards the end. He's like, yeah, we're gonna beat COVID. No, we're gonna beat, and just out of nowhere, Medicare.
Yeah.
Right.
What was with the Medicare comments?
So, like, is this guy on drugs? Like, there was something wrong with him. Like, I swear, he never won that election at all against Donald Trump. No one voted for him. What happened was the conspiracy of the American Parliament all got together and said, we're not putting gold in, we're putting Biden in. And it didn't matter what the vote said. And later on, they found votes inside drainage. They found votes tipped over on the side of the freeway, and bunkers, and just votes that were never counted. Thousands of votes that were never counted. So I don't think coming around the second time round again that it's going to happen, because I just can't see how in America it's going to be a fair election without there being some form of
I
corruption.
swear they, whoever's the higher ups, the oligarchy, as you will, if you will, were like, hey, you know what would be a great laugh is if we replaced Donald Trump, this previously semi-okay president, with a guy who's basically a senile grandpa.
Yeah. I'm just going to have a look at these comments that we've got flowing through on Facebook, by the way.
Flowing through. All right, this will be interesting. What do we got?
Where are you guys, traffic controllers in Australia? That is, yeah, we're Australia. Perth and New South Wales, Sydney. Then somebody in America said America is fast pump and dump automatic barrel trucks to close lanes.
Yes, that's what they call barrel trucks.
Yes, the barrel trucks. So look up barrel trucks. And that's where we're gonna see all that.
I'm gonna start getting barrel trucks and donkey dicks.
Shout out to Dave Morgan and
Dave Morgan. Woo!
And Jess Lala Hutchinson.
Actually, Dave Morgan's one of me mates. You're a fucking legend, Davo. Thank you for watching.
Well, he is tuned in right now. He said that's one from the old days, right? Dave, if you're still with us, say hello.
Oh,
which one's from
barrel trucks? They're interesting.
There you go. That's what we need in Australia.
Yeah, right.
What was one from the old days, Davo? You're going to have to be a little more specific with that one.
I think that's what he meant by the barrel trucks.
No. It was
You said that's one from the old days.
I worked with him years ago.
Now, if you said
it was something, it was a story I told. It was something I've mentioned.
I thought that it was based on Swagman's jokes about redheads.
Oh, right, water.
No,
that would be pump and dump. American. Sorry, I'm talking about the barrel trucks. What are you talking about?
Sure.
Just do it.
Yeah,
America is fast pump and dump automatic barrel trucks.
See, now on highways, oh my word, why is that happening? On highways, we should have that.
Oh, 100%. So much safer. I'm just looking at photos of it now. Like,
yeah, look at the videos. Though. The videos are insane as well.
Instead of putting yourself at risk when you're putting out cones or a delamination or a tape or anything else like that,
they just use barrel trucks.
Yeah. You could be like Donkey Kong, just throwing barrels out there. Boom, boom. Take that, Mario.
See, the machine does it all, though. Like, all you've got to do is literally line it up, and the arm just comes up, picks up the cone, up the cone. But is it a case of they have to do it by hand over here because they're too worried that the arm's going to extend out too far and hit a fucking car or something? Well, you've got the dickhead driver that can't reverse straight.
Now, there's a donkey dick for you.
Well, there's a photo here that I've got, and it's come up as a YouTube video with Safety Innovations written on it. And it's got...
So that's not Australian then?
Pretty much a truck with, like, a person standing on the edge, and it's attached to the tray of the truck. And they've got the barrels there, so they can stand there. Someone else passes it on the top, from the actual bed of the truck, and then they pass them to them, so they just have to reach over.
Yeah, but I think they're just relying solely on someone being able to reverse straight as well.
And
that sounds very much like what we call a pod truck over here. But for barrels.
Or cones.
Is that like a common practice? Do you reckon? If whoever left that comment, is that a common practice on a traffic control site?
For America, yes. America uses
Mm.
these barrel trucks. I watched a few videos now on traffic control in America,
Yeah.
and some every site I've seen so far, there's always one of these barrel trucks there, and it's just picking up cones and the yard comes out and it's literally putting the cones out. And I don't know how it does the measurements, but it's evenly spreading the cones as well to what you want it to do. And you've obviously just got the driver just
It's-
drive.
It's probably got a computer that's not unlike the computer in a TMA, that you're able to program exactly how often you want this thing to put the barrels down.
It is
I mean,
very
that makes
weird.
the safety officers very happy. They don't have to get their trundle wheel out to measure the distances between the cones.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never do it anyway. I'm just turn up and have a site looks.
Yeah, I don't think I've had anyone pull out the trundle wheel on one of my sites, but then again,
Dude, speaking of that, the inspectors are getting more and more strict. So
You know, I
here in
see-
Perth, they're
see New
coming
South
down to
Wales
sites,
government-
they're checking sites, they're literally investigating cowboy traffic control companies.
yeah. Sorry, what were we going to say, Snoozy?
Oh, literally, like, it just gets a little bit crazy, like, with being so to the centimeter, and
Yeah.
like, realistically, on some sites, like, you're going to do your absolute best you can to measure the distance between everything, right?
Yeah.
But we're all humans. We all have that human error. Like, I'm sorry, like, when you're setting up a site, you're not necessarily thinking, oh, I need to have my cones like 2 meters apart exactly. Like, you're not,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if their client wants to spend that money per hour for us to be able to do the whole site and make sure that the cones are 2 meters apart.
I can't see. Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's they only really come out is if there's a serious problem.
Mm.
So that unless someone actually reports something pretty severe going on at site, inspectors generally won't come out. But when they do, there's usually a lot of problems going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go through our comments.
I think we've only got the 5.
Yeah, for some reason I can't see any further comments on. Here we go. Yeah. So it's weird how the traffic control here is so strict, yet other countries are so lax in their rules and how they do things over there.
Yeah.
Like you never
yeah.
hear these big stories of traffic control companies in the media or, shonky traffic controllers in America or anything like that. I haven't seen any shonky pages in America's format, I guess.
Mm.
Like I've actually looked it up on Facebook to see if there
Yeah.
is any pages, and I haven't found one. Shonky, could you imagine a Facebook page, Shonky Traffic Controls? Like the whole of Australia is pretty much going to be on that page. I don't think there's one good traffic control company that I've come across where they're to the book, to the line. They don't throw fucking greens in the field.
Definitely not that site that I sent both of you the picture of today.
Yeah, no, that was definitely
And
not set up
especially
by
where it
Greenie.
was too. Like, where it was too, it was just, yeah.
That was just dodgily done up. Like, let's get a bunch of signs out. Doesn't matter what they say, and just make it look like we've actually done something.
Yeah. And they didn't get a bunch of signs out. They got 3 signs out.
Yeah.
One of those was a digger, which was on.
Didn't they have a bunch of cones out as well?
They had a few cones out, yeah, for the actual road closure, but it was just digger, road closed, bang, done.
Done.
And this is in fucking Crow's Nest, okay? Crow's Nest is maybe 3 Ks as the crow flies from the CBD of Sydney.
Yeah. Is it
So it's
quite busy
not
over there? Or?
Oh, yeah.
So that's like a real busy point.
Mm-hmm. And the only other sign that they had out on the approach that I was dropping notices on was a roadwork ahead, which, as I said, was like 150 meters down the road.
Nah, that's insane.
So I was like, roadwork ahead, beat beat, digger, road
Digger.
post.
Yeah. Now, I'm surprised that the council didn't come across that and say something or
I'm fairly certain it was the council.
well, that's who's going to tell the council off the council?
Mhm.
It was the
It's like
same
that
thing.
old. It's like that old joke. The government investigated itself and found that there was nothing wrong.
I was just going to say that's what they done with the COVID. So remember the
Yep,
big
yep.
COVID outbreak? It turns out that the people investigating the lab that supposedly released COVID, turns out they've got a vested interest in that company. So they're essentially investigating themselves. And the outcome was, oh, we can't see any problems with this. Like, there's no problems at all. It didn't come from this lab.
You know
Yeah.
what I had experience with a
Mm.
local council, right? So they go along in their trucks and fill in potholes. Like that is just a machine on the back of the truck that
Yeah.
the bitumen into the hole. And I was working on a site on a normal stop slow situation. And here they are. Oh, we're just going to be doing some roadworks up here. I'm like, okay, cool. Like it's fair enough distance, but I could see what they were doing. They had no protection from the workers from where live traffic was to the back of the truck. So I'm like,
Mm.
don't like that to starters. So there was no cars in a standoff position, no utes behind it. The utes are parked on the other side of the road. Mind you, working in the middle of the road, and the road
Yep.
enough was
Yep.
skinny as it was. Like you could pretty much only get 1 or 2 cars if you're lucky in between. And there was, and
That's
I'm sitting there
insane.
like, you have got to be kidding me. Like you are working on this road that leads into a main area, like leads to a main road, has high-ish traffic volume, and you're working in the middle of the road. And like, oh, it only takes about 5 minutes to do this job. 5 minutes to cost someone's life. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 100%. And
What
I
gets me-
stress that
sorry.
whole safety side of things to my ex-employer as well.
Mm.
They're like, oh, it's an easy job. It's just it's a pull lift. You know, how easy of a job is it? It's like, yeah, well, you're sitting 2 greenies, they're literally pretty well may as well call them first day of their job because one had only been in 2 weeks. The other one was an Irish backpacker. This was her first shift. She had just come out of training, second shift actually.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
between them, less than 2 weeks between them, out on a job by themselves. The site was set up incorrectly. The young girl got assaulted and almost run over all on the same day. And it's like
Mm.
the ops manager turns around and goes, well, show me in the legislation where it says I can't do that. It's like, how easy of a job can it be? It's a damn pull lift. How can they mess that up? I was like, well, clearly they did. And she was assaulted. And she goes, oh, well, he turns around and goes, well, that could have happened to anyone. And I was like, well, anyone else would have been experienced enough to de-escalate a situation to the point it didn't get to that point. So
Yeah,
therefore, that
exactly.
situation probably never would have happened. Therefore, if
Exactly.
you'd sent an experienced person, when you've got a senior copper saying, and the client saying, don't send greenies to site, you
Mm.
would think, as a human, you would go, oh, I better not do that again. Not
And
as a
morally-
reaction. Yeah.
And morally, I'm sorry, but there should be a due diligence from the company to make sure that their workers feel comfortable in doing and safe working on a site. Instead of that, like being a traffic controller, you'll get the Karens and the Darrens that want to try to abuse you, right? That is a given. That is a
Oh,
given.
it's
Yeah.
100% a
You're
given.
interrupting someone's day for 5 minutes for the sake of someone else's safety and for them to go home to their families. A good, experienced traffic controller can de-escalate the situation and talk to someone as such to de-escalate the situation, not to escalate the situation.
100%.
Well, I've got to say this: don't badmouth Darren's. My father-in-law's a Darren, and this guy, he would not even go a single millimeter over the speed limit.
Well, he
So-
can come through
does-
site any day.
Does
yeah,
South
exactly.
does South Africa have speed limits?
Yes, they do, and it's 120 kilometers an hour.
I was going to say, yeah, it's got to be 150 plus, surely.
Even South Africa has a higher national speed limit than Australia does.
Yeah, but you can also pay off the coppers to turn the other way.
I mean, you could, but, you know.
and you don't get charged for it. Whereas over here, you try and bribe a copper over here and see how far it gets you. They just turn around and go, "You bribing me?" South Africa, they're like, "How much you got?"
How much you
Yeah,
got?
yeah.
Well, I got fish and chips, and I got a bag of potatoes.
I've got a kilo of snow as well, if you want
Yeah,
that.
kilo of snow. Let's make a deal here. Yeah, no, there's some weird shit that I've seen on YouTube when it comes to traffic control. I think
Mhm.
UK and South Africa take the cake when it comes to traffic control. It's just Australia is not even in the same playing field. Like, there's certain things I would take from the way America does it, implement it here in Australia, because clearly it works over there for them. So why would it not work over here when we have less population than what America does?
But there
So
I
again,
mean,
like,
it's.
do you have to think of how traffic control is going to be evolving and how we're going to improve
Oh,
the
yeah.
safety standards in traffic control and look at what works for other people and what is safer for us as workers and safe for
At some
motorists.
point, we'll all be replaced by bloody robots that are doing traffic control jobs, and we'll no longer even be there doing the job. They'll
Or
just send out the damn
de-escalation
robot.
process with robot. Hi,
Yeah.
I feel like you are agitated right now. This is AI thing. I am just here to piss you off even more. Sorry. No.
Malfunction. Stop
Robo
hitting me.
Puppy is
Stop hitting me.
detecting neglect.
Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me.
I mean, in previous episodes, like you're speaking about the speed cameras on site to monitor speeding.
Just came up on
through
Facebook again as
Yeah.
well, that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I hope that is released because God Almighty, it needs to happen. Like you're
Pretty sure
like
it's happening there in the eastern states. Like, it's
yeah,
in
I
trial
haven't
on a.
yeah, I haven't seen anything yet. I've seen some posts on
Mm.
Facebook, but that's pretty much it. You know, like you've got the speed in local areas, right? And they say like the red if you're going over 50 or whatever the local speed zone is on that street, right?
And
So
it
why
shows a
can't
little
faster.
sad face as well.
yeah, like so I'm sorry,
It's
but
like I was doing
like
63 instead of 60. Oh.
but then you got to think like if they're implementing that, why can't they invest in other R&D projects to make sure that our job's safer, right? If
You would
they
think
if they
that's where the
want to
money
keep
would go, yeah.
if they want to keep the mortality rates of workers and motorists and pedestrians down on work sites and work zones and what we do for a job, yeah, it's high risk. But you know, what else can we implement to be able to make our job safer?
Oh, 100%.
Like it's so hard because a lot of people that don't work in the industry think, oh, I literally saw an article just before from SBS News saying in February this is published, turning a stop sign for $120,000 a year. What it's really like to be a traffic controller.
Mm.
Stop sign holders are set to pay for a pay rise under new union deal. This is what they're paid for. We're
Yeah, I
paid
did see that.
to
Apparently, there is, if you're with the union, that's how you get this so-called 200,000. And I am yet to see anywhere anyone getting 200,000.
I need
Yeah.
and like it's crazy. But you know what kind of annoyed me with this article, right? If someone flicks across and they're not in the industry, oh, I can turn a bat for $120,000 a year. That entices the wrong people to be doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because they
100%.
will.
They're
Sorry.
looking at the money and the 4 zeros that are in that title and think, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to make quick, easy money, not have to do much, right? They don't
100%.
realize how high risk our work is and don't think about the risks that are involved in our work and the purpose of our work. They're like, oh, I
No.
can do that.
It's
And-
not just about how high risk our work is. They don't realize just how physically fatiguing our work is as well.
100%. And
Yeah,
These
the
people look at
long
us, they
hours
see
that
us
are
for
involved.
I,
they
I
see us for 5 seconds on site as they drive past, and they go, "That's an easy job. That job's piss easy. That's all
Mm.
right. I could do that." But no. You come and stand here and hold that stop bat for 16 hours. You're not allowed on your phone. Fuck your phone off. All
Mm.
right. You're not allowed to do anything except for stare at that oncoming traffic. That's your only entertainment.
That's literally the only job you've got is to zero traffic.
and
It's
you
the
know
long
what?
hours. You're spending what 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. And these people just don't understand what it actually takes to do traffic control. They just think, oh, it's the druggies on the dial that are doing traffic control. It's like, yeah, number one, there's new rules that have come in place
Mm.
now. So as of the 1st of July,
Hang on. Hold on a second. I think Snizzy wants to interject here. Sorry.
yeah, go
No,
for it.
well, I was just gonna say, like, I had a site the other day, and it was a big site, and this old geezer comes along, goes, "Oh, you've got a good job, don't you?" And I was sitting back, making sure, like, as a supervisor, sitting back for a sec, observing the whole site, making sure it's running smoothly, and I'm sitting there
Mm.
like, do you not see, like, that there is literally no equipment left on my ute? Like, literally everything that I've
The
got
coded thing
is
is
on
out.
this site right now. Like,
Yeah.
you want to try to pick up one of those highway signs right now? Because you're more than welcome to. Do you want to put them in and out of my ute all the time? I don't think so. Do you want to carry the 40 cones and put them on out and pick them back up and pack up for the day? I don't think so. Like, but yeah, continue from July 1st. Sorry.
Yeah. So from July 1st, they brought out all these new laws and rules surrounding traffic control. So they're going to be rolling out that every traffic controller has to be drug tested and alcohol tested before and after shift. I
Yep.
don't know how they're going to implement it or how it's going to work, but somehow they put it in there. So I'd like to see somebody be able to come in and say, "Oh yeah, it's a bunch of druggies," after that whole thing is going to be advertised. So
And I'm sorry, but how realistic is it going to be for that to be implemented? I know for a fact that those drug tests are about $80 a pop.
easy, yeah. So they
Mm.
are.
Like
They're
just
about
just
$80.
the
So
one
the good
swab.
ones are $80. The cheaper versions are about 35 to it's about $35 for the cheaper ones. The real cheap ones, which are the ones where you've got to swallow it in your mouth, I think that worked out to be about $15 a test. So, like, they're super cheap. You can get better deals if you go directly to the drug and alcohol companies themselves that actually manufacture these tests. The ones the coppers use, they're about $50 a hit.
Yeah.
So
They're not cheap.
$50, and that's the blue ones where they strip it down your tongue. They're
Mm.
$50 per test. So every time they're using that, doing those random drug and alcohol, they're just blowing $50. So you can imagine how many
Mm.
tests they've got in a bottle. It's like, it's
And
ridiculous.
a day, like twice a day per traffic controller every day.
Yeah, it's
They
going
will
to be
find
really
some
hard.
way to pass that cost on to the customer. That's for sure.
Oh,
Mm.
there's got to be. It's going to come down to everything's going to increase, but traffic control is already on tight margins when it comes to a job as it is, which is why
Yeah.
most companies get a job, is because they come in at the cheapest quote. But when it comes to that, that cost will just get added on to the client, and they'll say, "Look, due to new laws coming in, we now have to do X, Y, Z with the employees." If it's found, and it's also, I guess, a good thing because it safeguards not only the company but the client as well. So then, if the employee does somehow miraculously test positive after shift, then insurances, any issues that happened, if something was raised, it safeguards that company as well. So that means that employees had something during their shift that they shouldn't. So it'll be easily picked up on. It's more of a safeguard for everyone involved. It's a good thing that it's happening.
It's
But at the same time, how do you monitor it?
it's also something that certain companies could use to lie about to get employees that they don't like into trouble. So that's
Oh,
something you got to be
100%.
wary about too. I had a mate who apparently tested positive for ice on one of these drug tests, and I know for a fact that
Joking.
he's never tried it. He's never touched the stuff.
Ah.
But yeah, he was a conehead. He loved his weed, but
Shout
they
out to
tried.
Brendan, by the way, who's just joined our live feed on Facebook. Yeah, no, it's gonna be an interesting time when these new laws are rolled out. They have started it's in as of 1st July. They're in. That's it.
Yeah.
It's now going to be how they're going to roll it out to the traffic control companies. Like, how is this actually all going to work? How is it going to be monitored? Who's going to be the one doing the monitoring? Health and safety inspectors going to be going around auditing traffic control companies on this. Like, how is it actually going to be monitored correctly and properly? So then, the cowboy companies that are out there deliberately avoiding these regulations are actually going to be pulled up. So,
you know how they're going to do it? They're going to do it on averages.
Yeah.
Because these people are going to go, listen, your traffic controllers need to do an average of, they might not do it every day. They're going to go, your TCs need to do an average of 100 drug tests each per year.
Yeah.
And so each company is going to probably drug test you for the exactly for the first week of every month or something like that. You're going to get a shit tested out of you, and then nothing for the following 4 weeks.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably the only way they're going to be able to do it. It's going to be like quota matched or something.
Yeah.
See how it goes. But in saying that, well, this was Brendan saying nothing uses. Brendan Parnell is watching your life. Shout out to Brendan again.
Good on you, Brendo.
One of our good mates. We're thinking, what is this dickhead? This is the podcast I was telling you about. There's all of us. We're all on here. So No Soul is our newest member. And then obviously you got Cranky.
No Soul? Oh, yeah. Okay. I was wondering what you were talking about. I was like, hang on, members? We have members now? Why aren't these people paying for a damn membership?
I'm going to be Cranky 2.0 in a second, Swagman.
Yes, let's go. Touchdown. Now, I reckon when Brendan can he can come on the show and he can tell us a bit about his construction life. I've had he's been working now for the last 12 months. He has actually done himself pretty well. I'm not going to say what he's been doing, but he's done the hard yards and he's come out of the better end of it. That's for sure. So, well done to him. And who's Dave Morgan? Dave's one of your mates.
Yeah, he's one of my mates.
I have some lick in my teeth. My life is just there.
You do? Wow, that isn't something. That's a fucking whole nation there.
That's a whole nation there.
That's a whole track control name right there.
That's called butter chicken. That's called dinner. Oh, yes. So
you'll feed all the starving children in Africa with that shit, mate.
100%. The amount of water that we waste, they should be lining up at my front door by now. I have 1 hour long showers and they're trying to use buckets to just give themselves a shower.
If they even have a shower, they're using buckets just to drink out of for the week.
Nah, the beast has just been over there. They've got water fountains and homes that have just been built. And yeah, I haven't seen an ad for Feed the Starving Kids in South Africa for a while. So maybe they are being fed now.
You know, my mum used to use that line on me all the time. If I wouldn't eat my food, right? The starving kids in Africa would give anything for that. And eventually I cottoned onto the fact that we actually lived in Africa. And I was like, well, why don't we go down the fucking road and give it to them then? And I don't remember much after saying that.
Yeah, you just woke up in Australia.
Yeah. We don't live in
But
Africa anymore, you motherfucker.
I was knocked out cold. That's it. So we've got sponsors. We've got a new sponsor that's come on as well, by the
Oh,
way.
really?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna see if I can find it here. Hang on. Good segue.
Swish.
Caravan Kings in Mandurah. They build caravans, sell caravans. So if you ever want a caravan, go suss out
Yeah.
Caravan Kings. Go see Alicia and Corey. Fun fact is, I actually know Corey. Went to school with him. So
Mm-hmm.
he's a funny story about him. We're out camping, and I'll never let him live this down. We're out camping, right? We would have probably been about, I reckon, 13. Yeah,
Yeah.
about 13, 14. And we're out on this big school camp thing, and early morning, Corey's woken up. Hasn't thought about knocking on the door of the girls' dorm. Just thought he would just walk in, like thinking everyone's dressed, everyone's getting out, because we all get into our little groups during the day, you know. He's
Yeah.
walks into the dorm room, all the girls are in their underwear. And I can tell you now, from the get-go, no one has let him live that down ever since. It came up during camp. It came up at the ending night of our skit night that we done, and someone actually done a skit of Corey walking into the dorm room. It was hilarious, the most funniest time of my bloody life. He knows.
And I can imagine him just sitting there like a damn king going, yeah, and I'll do it again.
Well, it was more of an embarrassment thing, you know, like he walked in and quickly walked out, but the fact that people found out about it, no one's ever let him live that down. Shout out to Corey. Not me. Definitely not me. Shout out to Swag as well. Swag HQ. You can go onto their website, Someone with a Goal, and also Simo's Butchers in Lakelands. So all your fresh meats and cuts down at Simo's.
Mhm.
Go down there,
And
get
we've
all your fresh meat.
speaking of all things to do with meat and meals, and
See, I
you
thought
know,
it was a good segue, see?
it was a good segue. We're going to talk about donkey dicks again. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're going to talk about the new food van that's just come out. It's called the No Salt Train.
That's it, no salt train. No, we're going to talk about. I can't do that with a tinny. Hang on. Oh, I can. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about on-track meals. ontrackmeals.com.au/in the zone. Where you can buy your emergency rations, which are fantastic for those emergency jobs. If you're one of those TCs like myself that gets called out to random jobs in the middle of the afternoon, and suddenly you find yourself in this position where you're like, well, shit, I wouldn't mind actually having dinner.
And
Cooked dinner.
they have a discount.
And they have a discount. We'll get to that. Go to ontrackmeals.com.au/in the zone, and take a look through everything they've got. They've got some really good sounding stuff and really good tasting stuff. Like, I eat these things all the time. I actually had to use one of mine the other day.
Long 12-hour shift.
No, I had forgotten to bring my lunch, and I was like, well, actually,
did you though?
Actually, I have some curried lamb and pearl barley in the lunchbox with a flameless ration heater from theirs. So yeah, go to that website and when the time comes, just type in the zone 10. You'll get 10% off. And I believe they're still running that 10% off discount of their own, so you're essentially getting 20% off.
That is insane. So you're actually getting a bigger discount than the original discount.
You're damn right you are.
So save him for more money. And
And
for
that
those
right
that
there, folks, is value for money.
I'm just taking a look through it now. 10-pack choc cherry summit bars.
No. Oh, actually, the choc cherry ones might be right. The only food of theirs that I will not sing the praises for is the summit bars. They taste like vomit. Everything else, fucking great.
I actually like the summit bars.
You like summit bars?
Yes.
I'll send you all of mine then, because I hate them.
So
No,
you've
I-
heard it here first, folks. He hates on-track meals. No.
I do not. Just one thing that they sell. Just one thing.
It's just that some of it's really, really good, and then some of it it's hit and miss. It's trial and error. It
I
is
just
what it
really like
is.
the sound of the coconut ginger chicken.
Actually, the coconut ginger chicken is fucking fantastic.
The question is, does it have a soul?
No,
It
because
gives
it's
soul.
dead.
It gives you soul, Swagman.
It
gives you
gives you soul. It puts the fire back inside.
And not only do they sell you the packs that have that, those packs also have random little snacks, sugary stuff, because they're designed for soldiers on some mountain top in Pakistan, to quote Paul Simon.
M&M's.
So you'll get a shitload of M&Ms, you'll get Skittles and chocolate bars and all sorts of things. So that'll do real wonders for the beer gut.
And then to top it off, you've got the is it Dizzylicious?
Delicious, yeah.
Dizzylicious. Now, for the sweets, that would be perfect. Now, if only she
is
had
that?
online, and then she could send them to Australia, like to Goethe.
Oh, but she does have a website. She's working on it. She's building the website right now.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
then you'll be able to order online.
So now, instead of having to go to Instagram, just Google Dizzylicious,
Dizzylicious, and then it'll pop up on the
and
website.
her
once it's
website will
ready.
pop up. Yeah.
Brilliant. Perfect. Alrighty. That is us, I think, unless anyone else has anything else they want to mention. Hang on.
No, I think that's enough shit talk for 1 week.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on.
I
Oh,
forgot
we've got
one.
an addition from the background.
We have an addition from the background. Asta and Ruby for my mate Chris. Asta and Ruby is down here in Mandurah. Now they sell all kinds of baby items and bottles and things that you like, more of your premium kind of stuff that you buy for your baby. It's not like a normal baby shop where you buy your nappies and all your bits and pieces. Like, this is like nice dresses and teething toys, and there's actually a big variety for Asta and Ruby. So they do have a Facebook page, obviously Asta and Ruby, and I believe they're working on a website as well for Asta and Ruby. They're quite big. They have been open for some time now, but my mate Chris and his wife have just taken over that company. So, and I believe they're in business with a couple of their friends as well. But anyone that's listening to this that is in Mandurah or in Perth in general, come suss out Asta and Ruby down here in Mandurah and get all your baby gifts. Mention in the zone and mention that I sent you to get 10% off. So, yeah.
Jeez, that's all right.
It's not bad. Not bad at all. So get down there, suss it out. Hello to Chris. Thanks for jumping in as a sponsor. So yes, luckily my wife reminded me because I totally forgot.
And
So,
baby needs everything you require on a road website.
everything you need on a road website. Baby needs.
Everybody needs a nappy.
Everyone needs a nappy. Everyone needs those bottles for when you get a cranky pedestrian. Just hand them a bottle.
Or
and
just
be like,
cranky in general.
Just cranky in general. Just give them a cranky. Send them to Snoozy's site. She'll rip the soul right out of you. Hang on.
Poor girl. She's never going to come back again. You know that, right?
This is only the second time we've had her on the show. No, it just looks it like it on the video, like because obviously we're probably because
Yeah.
it's different time zones, and then the pixelated, it actually just makes it look so red. Yeah, and I think it's the orange shirt.
I was
as
going to say
well.
it's the shirt
hard-
too.
It's the shirt that's not really helping the situation. Yeah, yellow could work.
That shall appease the traffic control gods.
That.
Oh, here it
here we
comes.
go.
All right, we're in for a fashion show here, Swagman.
Fashion show time, people. She's got.
Wait, we got the
Wait.
jumper.
Nah, it's just made it more orange,
it's-
to be fair.
He's full of shit. You look
No.
all right.
No, it actually did it. It made it look somewhat blonde. I don't know, maybe it's just. What's a hole? I don't know what a hole is. I'm a traffic controller. I don't dig holes.
That's what the excavator does.
Oh, I'm gonna love that. She got one. She got one. All right, people. This is Swagman, Snoozy, and Cranky. We will catch you on our next episode. Yeah, tune in
We
next
certainly
time.
shall, and don't forget the music this time, Swagman.
Yeah, no, I won't. No, I won't.
What the hell is this?
This is our intro. Yeah.